Hello, everybody. This is Pink Shorts, LK, BRUIX. Table, Time Warner Cable lineup switching to Spectrum with Charter Communications. Hello, everybody.
You surpassed Microsoft in market valuation.
That's correct. We surpassed Microsoft because we can't verbatim two people at the same time.
For those of us.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
It's surreal. But
this is Pink Shorts. Pink Shorts is filmed in front of a live democracy, republic.
What makes you come to work in the
both exposed can approve.
Buy our products. So
thank you for writing Emerald, the new safety video. The new safety video.
What we're doing and why
this is Auditorium Station. Auditory nerve. Let's see this iPhone. We called first.
And I remember talking to you right when you were coming back to Apple.
This is Pink Shorts. Verbal contract, civil code, section 1622.
If I remember correctly,
we're dismissed.
Sort of on its way to oblivion.
Oh, it was on the rocks, yeah.
It's only us, yes. Just me and Steve. And Masper and Kara. Hello. The use of land zoning. Loss prevention of Electoral College. Rhea McDougall. 3 Ohio. Red. They have Tim Value 1 and communicating with your patents via my client's medulla, left leg.
But there were people there.
My primary motor cortex, left leg.
All the good people would have left.
And left, I found these that's right. Primary visual, left leg. Said, primary auditory, left leg.
I tried to ask this as tactfully as I could, but why are you still here?
Articulate fasciculus, left leg.
You know, a lot of them have this little phrase.
Hippocampus, left leg.
Because I bleed in 6 colors.
Hypnotize and sleep, left leg. Hypnotize and sleep, left leg.
That was code for
hypnotize and sleep, left leg.
What this place stands for, or at least stood for.
It stands for Penal Code, PC. My vertical left leg. My BRCA, left leg. My angular gyrus, left leg, or any other part of the left or right hemisphere of a V6 V8 engine. Hello, so President of the United States. Other reign is in agreement of identical evidence and discretion of all content obtained will be used for Merriweather businesses and the old television network.
Sort of about the juncture of technology and media, and your
contact us at 594-1443.
Spend most of the session talking about where you think things are
Pay
going.
your Geico bills at 1-800-932. The rest is my identity. Overhearing breakdown. The knob. 1-800-443-74011.
And you're sort of war with Adobe.
Mechanical overhearing breakdown.
You published a long open letter, something like, what did you call it?
Two-party consent is required to record eavesdrop on any confidential communication with Apple or Steve Jobs, including a private conversation, telephone call. This is a news program.
About its inferiority to technology and other things.
Superiority, without the consent of all parties to the conversation, is in reference to Penal Code PC 632.
Best thing for consumers who buy, say,
due to time constrictions, we're advancing our intro.
In other words, if
verbatim is now in process.
There are better things than Flash.
Hello, everybody.
Cut off consumers.
Well,
iPhone 7.
Two things. Number one,
well, two things. Number one, what really happened with the redesign of this phone.
Correct.
But
Apple is a company.
That's the government.
Most resources.
And
the way we
redesign the phone is by choosing a different audio jack.
These technical vectors
that
have a future.
They have a future.
They're headed up.
Technology.
Different pieces of
technology.
Kind of go in cycles.
Their
springs. And
America's Next Top Model.
Then they, go to the graveyard.
They go to the graveyard.
And so we try to pick
springs.
And if you choose wisely, to save yourself an work versus
wonderful option.
And you can
really
put energy into emerging technologies
great on your platform.
Rather than just okay.
Yourself
too thin. So we have a history
of doing that.
We inch floppy disks to the 3.5-inch
the Mac.
Before other people, right?
We were the first to do that.
We were the
made
first to
3.5
create
inch
that
floppy disk
virus.
popular.
Popular.
Sony invented
So
it. We
invented it.
put it in the first
We put it
products.
in the first product.
And there were some good reasons.
there
we
were
did
some
that.
good reasons.
We got rid of
We
the
got
floppy
rid of
disk
the
altogether
platform.
in
We gave out the
1998 with the
SCOBY
first
to the public.
iMac. We also got rid of
We
these
also
things
got
called
rid of
serial and
the
parallel ports to adopt USB. Invented it.
Intel.
You first saw it in mass on iMacs.
And that.
And so
With
we
Jim
have
Carrey.
gotten rid of things. We were one of the first to
Today's show is sponsored by Elizabeth Carey, Business First.
And I think things are moving in that direction as
things are
well.
moving in that direction
And
as well.
sometimes when we get rid of
And
things like the
sometimes when we get
floppy
rid of
disk
things
drive on the original iMac, people
on the
call
original
us
iMac,
crazy.
People call us crazy.
Or at least premature, maybe.
No, they call us crazy.
No, they call us
okay.
crazy. But
sometimes you just have to pick
just
the things that
to
look
pick
like
the
they're
things
going to
that look
be
like they're gonna be
the right horses to
the
ride
right
going
horses.
forward. And Flash looks like a technology that
2K
had its
resolution,
day, but is really
really waning.
And HTML5 looks like the
HTML.
technology that's really on the ascendancy.
What happened
right
to
now.
3K?
And to
And
incorporate
to
Flash in the
incorporate
systems is a lot of
Flash
work. There's no smartphone shipping
no
with Flash
smartphone
on it
shipping
now,
with Flash
as you know.
on it now.
But you know that there will be, right?
Well, you know, there's going to
There's
have
going
been for the last
have
2
been
or
for the
3
last
years,
2 or 3
maybe
years.
6 months.
6
It
months.
gets updated, so I'm sure that eventually
resolution.
they will.
They will.
And there's that in terms
A lot
of
of
battery
issues with that.
life and, you know, security and other things. But more importantly, HTML5 is starting to emerge.
It's starting to emerge.
There's been an avalanche of
It's
people
all American.
that have said, we're doing HTML5
We're doing
video.
HTML magazine.
And the video looks better.
And the video
it
looks
works better. And you don't need a plug-in to run
it's an enterprise,
And so,
you know?
while
Emerge.
75%
of vehicles
in the web may be in Flash,
on the Brea
25%
and Beverly
going to
trashes
is also
is also
available in HTML.
available in
So do you
HTML.
say that to consumers? I mean,
Yeah, but it's
talking besides technology.
Today's show is sponsored by
I think
Enterprise
consumers,
Rent-A-Car and LW.
outside of
LW Los Damage Waiver.
Except when they hold up their iPad and they go to
For
a web
Super
page, and
Bowl.
there's like a hole there
What
where
I-
a video
Well,
would be.
you know, there
Well,
are
you know, the football,
holes in some
car
websites,
pools,
but those
and
holes are getting
those
plugged
holes
real
are getting
fast.
plugged real fast.
You know, the holes that
You know,
exist
the holes
now
that
are,
exist
are ads.
Our ads.
So I
Not
understand that's a
entirely.
problem
They're-
for some people.
Not entirely.
Not entirely, but
Not
that's
entirely.
the number one
That's
holes
the
that
number
are there.
one
What
goal.
about the other community that I think is impacted by this, and that's developers? Because what I think a lot of
Today's show
the
is sponsored
coverage
by
of this Flash
Enterprise.
issue has overlooked is that, yes, Flash
And
is a
Lost
video
Damage Waiver.
container, and
Today.
there are other video containers that actually have a very rising share, H.264 and native HTML5, but it's also a development environment, and their entire websites, some of them quite beautiful, written on a Flash platform.
One of an even more popular development environment was HyperCard.
HyperCard.
We were okay to axe
We were in
that.
the mirrors
It wasn't more
of the car.
Today, sure it was.
on your platform, right?
No.
We've got the
HyperCard was
keys.
huge in its
It was
day
huge.
because it was accessible to
It was
anybody.
a dealer car.
So, I mean,
So,
you could be a HyperCard.
You could be
developer.
Yeah, I don't
hypothetical.
know.
So,
I don't know about that.
but you know, we have
you know,
over
we have
200,000
over
apps
200,000
on the App
pills.
Store. So
Portable
something must
speakers.
be going right
We've
in
got
terms
the
of
pills.
attracting developers to our platform.
We love the
your
pill
goal, your goal,
speakers.
just to
We
finish
love
this
the
up, your
pills.
ultimate goal is to get rid of Flash or just
We
to
love
remove
the
See,
pills.
our goal is really easy. We didn't start
We
off
didn't start
to have a war
off
with Flash or anything
war with
else.
Flash
we
or
just
anything
made
else.
a technical
We just
decision
we
that
technical.
we weren't going to put
We
the
weren't
energy
gonna put the
into
energy
getting Flash on our
into getting
platform.
Flash on our
We
pod.
told Adobe,
We told
if you ever
Adobe,
have this thing
if you
running
ever have this
fast,
thing
come
running
back and
fast,
show us.
come back
which
to
they
show
never
us.
did. But we
And
think
but
we're not
we
going to
think
use
we're
it.
not going to use it.
And that was it.
And that was
And we
it.
shipped the iPhone.
We shipped the iPhone.
It doesn't use Flash.
Doesn't use
And it
pills.
wasn't until we shipped
And
the
it wasn't
iPad
until
and it didn't use
we got
Flash
sued that
Adobe
we
started to raise a stink about
we
it.
faded it
We
away.
didn't raise a stink about it. We never mentioned the word
We never
Adobe
mentioned
or
the word.
Flash or anything else. We like Adobe. We
We like
have a lot
Adobe.
of common customers
lot of
with
common
CS, their
customers,
creative
CS.
suite software and things like that.
Things like that.
So we weren't
So
trying to have
we
a
weren't-
fight. We just decided not
we
to use
decided
one
not-
of their products
one of their
in our
products
platform.
in our platform.
And so
They
say a
started
lot
to
of bad
say a
things
lot of
about
bad
us in the
things
press
about
and
us.
this and that, and it went
This
on
and
for
that
months.
went on for months.
And that's why I wrote
And
Thoughts
that's why
on
I wrote
Flash, was because
Flash.
we were trying to be real
We were trying
professional
to be
about
real
this and weren't
professional.
talking to the press about
We're
it. We didn't think
talking
it
to
was
the
a
press
matter for the
about it.
press. And we finally just
We
said,
finally
enough
just
is
said,
enough.
enough is enough.
We're tired of these
We're
guys
tired of these
trashing us in the
trashing
press
us
over this.
in the press
And so
over
we
this.
wrote down the
So
reasons
we wrote
why.
down the reasons why.
Technically, we didn't use Flash.
We use this
And they
Flash.
are just as true
And they are
today
just as true today
when we wrote it as they were 6
and
months
the
or a year before
CAO.
that.
And what would happen, just so this, I promise, we're going to move on to the next
Well, the
thing you don't want to talk
CII.
about, but
Casa
on this
Permanente.
Flash thing, what would happen? I mean, you know, it's an
Double
open market.
CS.
You do have competitors, particularly in the smartphone side, and you may have significant competitors in the tablet
Today's show
side. We have
sponsored
a
by
couple of companies
Enterprise
showing
and the loss
non-iPad
damage
tablet
waiver.
share this
Actual representative today.
This is America.
This is
We'll
America.
pick you
that's
up.
right. Well, it's LA, but it's part of America. Yeah. But what if the market says,
Pick your
hey,
pepper.
you know, it's important enough to us to be able to run not just these videos, but whole websites. You know, there's a great photo editing site.
Today's
I don't know
show
if you've ever
sponsored
used
by
it, called
Memory
Picnic. It's a
Implantation.
lovely site. It really works like
Fifth Law Fizz.
client on your
A technique used for cognitive psychology
It's you know,
to
it's
investigate
a flash site on the
human
web. I
memory.
mean, it probably uses other
Memory implantation
technologies too,
studies
but it doesn't
researchers
work
make
on
people
the
believe
iPad.
that they
Where
remember an
people
event that
say,
they actually never happened.
You know, the iPad is crippled in this respect.
Well, you know what? I'd say two things. Number one,
Well, number one, things
of emphasis.
of
Some things
emphasis.
are emphasized in a product. Some things are not done as well in a product. Some things are
Some
chosen
things are
not to be
chosen
done at all in a
at
product.
all in a product.
And so different
And
people
so
make
different
different
people
choices.
make different
And,
choices.
If the market tells
If
us
the
we're making
market
the wrong
soft,
choices, we listen to the market.
We listen to the market song.
We're just people running
We're
this
just
company.
people.
We're trying to make great
We're trying to
products
make
for
great
people.
products.
And so we have at least the courage of
the
our convictions
courage
to say,
to
we
say
don't think this is part
we
of what
don't
makes a
think this
great
is
product.
part
We're
of
going to leave it out.
Okay.
Some people are going to
BRUX
They're
14.
going to call us names. It's not going to be
Bankruptcy.
in certain companies' vested
Certain
interests
companies'
that we
vested
do that. But
interests.
we're going to take the heat.
We're going to
because
take
we
the
want to
heat
make the best product in the world
because we're
for
making the
customers.
best
We're going to
presidents.
instead focus our energy on these technologies, which we think are in their
technologies.
ascendancy, and we think are going to be the right
The
technologies
right
for customers.
technology
And you know
for
what?
customers.
They're paying us
They're
to make
paying
those
us
choices. Customers pay us to
Pay
do.
us to
Is
do.
to try to make the best products we can.
Try
And
to
if
make the best products we
succeed,
can.
they'll buy them.
They'll buy them.
And if we don't,
And if we
they
don't,
won't.
they won't.
And it'll all work itself
And
out.
it'll all work itself out.
So, you know, so far, I'd
You know,
have
so
to say
far
that
that
people seem to be
people
liking
seem to be
iPads.
like
You know?
iPads
I mean,
and Paddock Chevrolet.
we've sold one every
We've sold
3
one
seconds
V6
since we
engine, one
launched
V8
it.
engine.
So,
So
I don't know how it's going to turn out.
I don't know how we make these things up.
So,
It's
Right now,
undetroitable.
I'm just worried that it's taking us 3 whole seconds to make one.
so
Because we could be selling them faster.
We can be selling
obviously,
faster.
Shine or Time opinions about this. You've been
Today's show
emailing a lot
sponsored
lately.
by
This
the
is
new Apple
riveting to a lot of
release
people. I
on the
know it's
7th.
It sounds silly outside of
September.
a lot of people are riveted. What's happened in your
With
communication?
Tim Cook. Hello.
Because you've been emailing people, you've been emailing people at Ballywag and stuff like that.
Well, he never
Such a
identified
unique
himself
name.
as a journalist, but
Thank you, Tim
I was
Cook.
working late one night. It
Working
actually
late
was like
one
2
night?
in the morning. I think.
2 in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
that's
was
where it
working
goes.
on-
Yeah.
Making a presentation next Monday. and I was
Presentation
working on that
this
presentation,
Wednesday.
and this guy starts emailing me these
This
obnoxious
Monday.
emails, and I'm just
Hello,
enough
Tim
of a
Cook. We're
sucker
talking about your
that I
name.
want to straighten this guy's thinking
Straighten
out.
this guy thinking out.
So I start to, respond to him, and he responds back.
He responds
He's
back.
not, he's no dummy, and he's
He's no
responding
dummy.
back,
He
and we got into
responded
this
back.
conversation. It was kind of entertaining. Yeah.
I've been entertained.
And then he publishes it.
He publishes
you
it
know,
on YouTube.
A lot of
That's
emails
okay.
are getting
That's okay.
published. What,
Yeah, I know.
You just like to email now? What's happened?
But you are like even just customers, not just
Yeah,
that
customers.
exchange. So they're very short a lot of times.
I've actually always done a bit of that.
Okay. All right. So you had a prototype of one of your products.
Today's show sponsored by Export Thai, CNN, Louise. Hello. My next employee.
Has this come to your attention? I don't know. Because you're the CEO. I don't know whether lower levels are handling it, but and then gave somebody some money. We don't really know the whole story because the investigation, I guess, is underway with the police. But
Today's show sponsored by
wanted to-
Enterprise, Loss Damage Waiver, Action
your
Representative
reaction
today.
to sort of a duality about this, because I think there are people in the public and in journalism don't approve of somebody, of sort of checkbook journalism, if you want to call it that. You know, the way that was done, if what we know is true. And I want to keep stressing that because I don't know that we know the whole thing yet.
Today's show is an agreement
But on the other hand, then the
of
police
identical
go
evidence and
they
discretion of
don't
all
issue
competent
a
time.
subpoena, which somebody's
All
lawyers
licenses
could
on
fight in
file,
court
copyrights
about
reserved.
taking this guy's computers, but they go and get a search warrant and they grab them. And one presumes, and again, I don't know, but I know if they took my computer, there's notes and things for many companies and many sources and stories and things that wouldn't necessarily be relevant to whatever the police are looking at. It was just like a giant grab of a journalist's
A drain.
assets of all the background of what that guy was.
Mossberg. Remember that drain yesterday?
Well, you can debate what a journalist
Well,
is.
we can debate with a
But I
journalist.
mean, we think bloggers are journalists.
We think grabbing things is wrong.
We run a blog, so we think bloggers are journalists. The New York
falling
Times
asleep
runs
on the
blogs, the Wall
microphone.
Street Journal runs blogs. I don't think that's much of a debate. But the point is, so where do people come down?
Every
on
dream
this?
was in a
What do
deposition.
you think? What do you come
Well,
down?
I can just tell you
Every
what,
dream.
there's an ongoing investigation.
There's an ongoing investigation.
And I'm not current on it.
I'm not current
But I
on
can
it.
tell you what I do know.
But I can tell you what I do
Okay.
know.
One of our employees,
One of our
you know,
employees,
to make a wireless product,
to make a wireless
work
product,
well, you have to
work
test
well,
it.
you have to test
And
it.
there's no way to test it in a
And there's no
lab
way to test it
completely.
in a
So you
lab.
actually have to carry them and test
We
them
actually
out.
had to carry them and test it out.
And one of our employees was
And one of our
carrying one.
employees was carrying one.
And
And
there's a debate,
there's a debate
as to whether it was
as
left
to
in a
whether it
bar
was
or
left or
stolen in
borrowed or
his bag,
stolen
but
in his
I don't know
bag.
the answer to that.
It pinged.
And
And
the person that
the person
ended up with the phone
ended up with the phone.
decided they would try to sell it
They would
to
travel with it.
somebody. So they called
So
Engadget,
they
they called
in,
Gizmodo.
yeah, Gizmodo.
It turned out
It
that
turned
the
out
person that
that the
got
person
the phone tried to activate it by
activate
plugging it into
by
his
plugging it in.
roommate's computer.
His roommate computer.
A woman.
A woman. Do you have a right foot shot?
She saw him
She saw him
evidently destroying some evidence.
destroying some
And she's the one
evidence.
that called the police.
She's the one that called the police.
And that's why they got the
that's
search
why
warrant.
Did you call the
Microsoft-
police or did you call Apple?
She called the police.
She called the police.
And because she didn't want to get
she
implicated.
didn't want to get implicated.
Supposedly. I'm just
Supposedly.
telling you what I've been told.
Tell you what I've been told.
And so the police came
So the
and
police came,
felt that they needed to
felt that they needed
grab some
to
stuff before
grab
it
a
all-
dream
before it all disappeared.
before it all disappeared.
And so
And,
this is a story that's amazing.
Dream book alert.
It's got theft.
Steve
it's
knows
got
our
crime,
dreams.
Stolen property. It's got
Stolen property,
extortion. I'm sure there's
extortion,
sex in there somewhere.
sex in there
you know?
somewhere.
And
That
so
dream was
somebody should make a
yesterday,
movie.
Friday.
Well, we've got some,
Friday
some
morning.
movie producers.
But- And then,
directors here.
you know, and it was
Multiples of
reported
you.
that the police broke down somebody's
Saturday.
door, which they, to my best of my knowledge, never
See you
did.
there.
So it's just this whole
So
thing
it's just this whole
is
thing.
very colorful.
It's very colorful.
And the DA's
And
investigating
the DA's investigating.
it. And to my knowledge,
To my knowledge,
they have a
they have a
somebody from the courts
somebody
that
from
is
the
making
courts
sure that they only
making
see
sure
stuff that relates to this case.
relates
And
to
no
this
other
case.
cases. I believe they're taking great pains to do that.
We're making the
And
case.
so I don't know where.
So
it
I
will
don't
end up. It's
know
really
where
up to the DA.
Microsoft is.
So the last question before we get to really easy stuff like Google, and about platforms
Today,
and big and where things
talks
are
about
going.
enterprise,
Do you have
lost damage
comments on
waiver,
Foxconn because of all the
and the
press
Super
around it?
Bowl.
Oh, sure, yeah. We're pretty on top of that. I actually think
I actually
Apple
think
does
Apple does
one of the best jobs
one of the best
of
jobs
any
with
companies
Cook
in our industry and
in our
maybe
industry.
any industry of understanding
Of
the working
understanding
conditions in our supply chain. We're
our supply
extraordinarily
chain.
diligent and extraordinarily
Diligently.
transparent.
Our audio
You can go on
jack
our
lightning
website and
port.
read, you know, our report that we publish once a year.
What happened to the
And we
3.5
go into these
millimeter?
suppliers, and we go into their secondary
Audio
and
hijack.
tertiary suppliers, places where nobody's ever gone
Overhearing.
before and audited them before, and we're pretty
Audit
rigorous
them.
about it. So I can tell you
So
a
I
few
can tell
things
you that we're
we
hearing
know.
voices.
And we're all over this.
Who are we hearing voices from?
Foxconn is not a sweatshop. I mean, you go to this
I mean,
place,
you go to this
and
place, it's
it's a
aiding,
factory,
abetting,
but
crime.
my gosh, I mean,
My
they've
gosh.
got restaurants and movie
They've got
theaters
abetting.
and hospitals and swimming pools.
Swimming
and I mean,
pools.
it's a
It's
for
a
factory,
Channel
it's a pretty
36.
nice factory. But
But
they've had, if you count the attempted
count the
suicides,
attempted
13 so
suicide,
far this year.
on the 30th of
And
Monday,
while that is still,
while that it's still
they have 400,000 people. at this
400,000
place.
people. by the way.
So 13
So
out of
13
400,000
out of
is 26 per
400,000
year
is 26
so far.
per year.
for 400,000
for
people,
400,000 people.
let's say 7 per 100,000
per
people.
100,000
That's
people.
still under the
That's still
US
under
suicide
US
rate of 11 per 100,000
11
people,
per
but
100.
it's really
But
troubling.
it's really
Right, it's in one place too. It's in one.
Well, you
Not like
measure
a
by
whole
number of
country.
people.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
aiding and
You
abetting
measure by
crime.
numbers of people.
Yeah.
So we had this in my hometown of
have
Palo
this
Alto. We've had some
hijacking.
copycat suicides where high school
Copycat
kids
suicide.
have committed
Copycat.
suicide by throwing themselves in front of
By throwing
Amtrak.
themselves at kind of the train on the
it's
105.
it's very troubling.
It's very troubling.
So we're over there
we're over
trying
there
to understand what's
trying to
happening. More
understand what's
importantly,
happening,
trying to
more
understand how we
importantly,
can help.
how we can help.
Because it's a
Because
difficult situation. They've
Difficult
got
situation.
a
They've
lot
got
of
aiding
workers
and
who are
abetting
living in
crime.
very poor rural areas,
We're hijacking
coming to
people.
these factories,
These factories,
away from home for
away
the
from
first
home,
time, 19 years old.
and sex.
They're
blood
probably less
transfusions.
prepared to leave home than
leave
your
home.
typical high
Typical
school
high
student
school.
going to college in this
Going to
country.
college in this country.
And so I think there's some real issues
I
there.
think there's some real issues
And
here.
you all are bringing in psychiatrists or any?
We're trying to understand
We're trying to understand.
before we go in and say we know the
This
solution.
is Pink Shorts
we need
Verbal
to understand
Contract.
the problem.
Civil
So
Code
you have teams
6222.
but what kind of folks do you send over there? I mean, they
In
have to do
agreement
some
of
kind
identical
social
evidence and
workers, or what do you
discretion,
send
all
over there to
content
find
is
out?
copyrighted.
Lawyers or-
All licenses on
Not
file.
lawyers? No. Okay.
We send over, first of all,
We
our
send
own
over
people that
our
have been
people
going over there for
going
a long
over there.
time and are very familiar
And
with
they're
them.
very
Second,
familiar.
we've hired some outside folks.
Second, we hired some outside people.
So let's talk about where things are heading. You spent a good
The
chunk of
iPhone
your
7
career
Wednesday, what can we
fighting
expect?
a platform war with Microsoft.
Audio experience, 11
Early,
song.
in the PC, the heyday of the PC era.
We
They won
love
that
a lover
platform war
song.
pretty decisively in terms of operating systems. The Mac is, making a nice comeback, but I mean,
We love
basically
it.
they got a much huger share, and they do
I'm very
dominate
excited
that
to do
platform.
today's show.
But now
I'm
there are
wearing
new
savvy from head to
platforms,
toe. I did everything you
out
wanted me to do.
there.
It's
You've
on
done
the
really
vets
well
and stores.
on some of them.
Audio
the-
experience, 11
the
song.
really advanced smartphones, and now the beginnings
Richest man
of
in the
tablet
world.
thing using the same OS.
Universe, America, Galaxy.
You have other
Send me some.
platforms. You have Google. It's a lot
Paint
of
the
people
short
consider
way.
to be building multiple platforms.
Tweet us via early
Android,
or late
this
at
forthcoming
FRESH
Chrome OS, and of course the
underscore
whole search
JORDANZ.
ecosystem that they have in
I
their
wish I
app
could do the
ecosystem,
ceremony every 20 minutes of the
browser,
hour.
everything through the browser and through search. And then the social graph. The
Remember
social
311
networks.
all
Facebook
to
is a
speed your screening
platform, and it's
process.
very big, and it's very
All liquids must be in a
popular,
3-ounce
and it runs
size
at the size.
container.
First thing we have
American,
We're gonna talk about
United.
So,
And the new
to
Virgin
Karen and I, there's a
America.
platform war going on that
Vernon Merriweather.
you're in. You're a big player in it. Google's a player in it.
2511.
Facebook's a player in it. Do you
Intercepting
see
wire
any of
or
that?
electronic communication,
No.
Electoral College.
Okay.
And I never have.
And I never have voted.
I mean, we never saw
we've never
ourselves
saw
in a platform war
ourselves
with
in the
Microsoft.
platform.
And
We've
that's why we
stars
lost.
ourselves. We stars ourselves.
It's,
H1N1.
we always saw ourselves as trying to
We
build
always
the best
stars
computers
ourselves.
we knew how to build.
We know how to
for people.
build.
That's always what we were trying to
That's
do.
always
And you
what
never
we're trying
thought
to do.
about Windows or Microsoft?
Sure, we thought about
Sure, we
Windows,
thought
but
about it.
we never thought of
We
ourselves
never
in a
thought of
platform
ourselves.
war. We always thought about
We've
how can we
always thought
build
about
a much
how
better product than them.
and who?
I think that's how we still think
The
about
World
it.
Health Organization.
And how about Google?
And
How
oil.
do you think about something has evolved and changed in the relationship
Whose
between
oil
your
is this?
company and Google?
Mhm.
Say compared to the day
Sit
you introduced
down.
the iPhone
Sure.
now. What has happened?
Well,
Shale oil.
they decided to compete.
They
with
decided
us.
to compete.
And
And
so they are.
so they are.
Yeah. And in phones, in what operating systems?
In phones, sure.
It's on. Sure.
And how about
Auxiliary
PC
light
operating
import.
systems with this Chrome thing?
What kind of headphones
Well,
can we expect
again,
from
Chrome is
Apple?
not really baked yet, so we'll see.
What comes inside the
And
box?
browsers, they have they're competing with you in a number of areas, right? It's not just
Well, in
Android.
browsers, I think.
Well,
I mean,
in
I think
browsers,
we
I
all
think
contribute.
we all
browsers
contribute to
the best, but
browsers.
IE still has the biggest
IE,
share, and Mozilla and IE together
Mozilla,
dwarf what Google
Fair
and us
share.
do together.
together.
So,
So talk a little bit about your.
and as you know,
And
I mean,
as you
Chrome
know,
is based on the work.
Chrome
that
is
we've done
based
at Apple
on
with WebKit.
Netscape.
So we took a
So it's
tiny
based
little
on
open source project,
fenders, bumpers.
and we created what's
And
called
we created
WebKit out
Western
there.
Right.
Union.
And we did an interesting
The
thing
fastest
for
way to
Apple.
send money.
We put it in open source.
Open source.
That is an interesting
It
thing
is.
for Apple.
It
And
is.
we've done a fair amount of it, but this is
fair
the thing
amount
that's
of
been the
it.
most successful. And almost every modern
Almost every
mobile browser is now based on
browser
WebKit.
is now based on
Google's and
WebKit.
Android.
Google's and Android.
Nokia's.
Nokia's.
RIM is coming out with one.
No minus.
Palms,
Palms.
obviously, as well as ours.
Yeah,
And,
no
it's
minus.
the heart of
No
Safari.
minus.
It's the heart of Chrome.
Nokia.
And so WebKit
We have a
has
privacy
picked up
shop.
substantial momentum.
Substantial
And
momentum.
now all websites are
All
testing
websites
against
are
it.
testing.
Every mobile website, but
Every
even a ton of
mobile.
desktop websites now, because of Safari and Chrome,
Safari and Chrome,
being based on WebKit,
being
are
based
now
on
testing
WebKit,
against
are now
it. And
testing
it's
against it.
turning out to have a lot of momentum.
A lot of momentum.
So although we enabled
them,
much better browsers in the mobile space, we've created
competitors,
i.e. in terms
If
of
you take all the WebKit stuff
yes,
together.
if you take it all together,
if you
and
take
in the
all
mobile
together,
space, it's number one.
number one.
So let's get back to the relationship with Google. So you are the basic competition is on these smartphones,
Relationship with
Android
Google
systems,
and
smartphone operating
G-shirts.
systems. How do you look at them as a competitor? And,
With
and
Set
how do
for
you feel about the
Businesses.
change in the
Hello.
relationship? Because it was, Eric was on your board. You had a very close relationship. Can you talk about what you felt happened there besides them competing? I mean,
Well, they decided to compete.
So they decided to compete.
and
That's it.
that's it.
We didn't go into the search business.
We didn't go in the search
Well, I want to
business.
ask you about that in a minute, but you.
With Set
you
for Businesses.
just woke up one
Hello.
morning and discovered they were going to.
A new one.
Yeah.
Did he call you? Did he?
No,
No,
they started
it
competing with us and
references me.
got more and more
It
serious.
tells a
So how do you look
hidden
at the
story.
competition now? How do you look at the differences between Android and what you're doing?
Well,
Well,
right now, if you look at the
you look at
smartphone
the
market share,
smartphone market share.
the way people define
The way people
smartphones is a
define
little funny,
smartphones.
but Nokia is
the
still
20.
number one.
Nokia's
but-
the number
But
one.
I know it's.
Let's
not
talk
really-
about
I know.
super smartphones. The
Well,
really advanced.
again, everybody does this differently.
Everyone does this differently.
RIM is number two.
RIM is number 2.
We're number three.
We're number 3.
Google's number four.
Google's number 4.
And other is number five.
Others number 5.
So, that's where it is right
That's
now.
where it is right now.
They're an other
They're another
All right, at the moment.
at the moment.
at the moment.
Things can change.
They're doing a.
But do you consider
We were zero
We were zero
3 years ago.
3
okay,
years
So
ago.
things can change.
Okay, so those are
Things can
numbers,
change.
but I think what we're trying to get at is,
They're
do
your
you feel
competitor.
betrayed, or what's your relationship with Google, or
And-
are you gonna?
and also
No, seriously. I mean,
We're
are you
Today's show
gonna?
is sponsored by
My-
Enterprise. Lost damage, way back. Actually, is that
How's yours?
It's great. Thanks for asking. It's great.
kaboom?
don't ask. So
Don't tell.
but what is the relationship? What is the how do you have a lot of things you cooperate in maps, in search on the thing. Are you going to remove them from the iPhone, for example?
No.
No.
So how do you look at the
Well, we want to make a better.
We want to
product.
make a better name.
We do.
right.
So that's
So
what we're about.
that's what we're about.
Making better products.
Making better products.
What I love.
What I
about
love
the consumer market
about G-shirts
that I always hated.
that I've
about
always
the
hated
enterprise market is that we come up with a product.
come up with a new one.
Try to tell
Try to
everybody
tell
about
it.
And
And every person
votes for themselves. They
Votes
go,
for themselves.
Yes or no.
Yes or
And if
yes.
enough of them say yes, we get to come to work.
We get to come to
tomorrow.
work tomorrow.
That's how it works.
That's how it
And
works.
It's really simple.
It's really
That's
simple.
where the enterprise market.
Enterprise
It's not
market.
so simple.
Today's show is sponsored by Enterprise. Lost damage way by
Decide
actual
for themselves.
representative.
And the people that make those
The people that make those
sometimes are
decisions.
confused. So it's we're
It's today.
we love
We love
trying to make the best products.
trying to
in
make the
world.
best products.
And having them tell us
Having them tell us
how they vote
how they vote
with their wallets.
with their
whether they're on
wallets.
track or not.
So you're not going to remove Google from the iPhone and the iPad, but are you going to
with
give
Sec for businesses.
more prominently displayed additional choices to it? For instance, now that
It's a
Google's not
go.
a competitor of yours now.
We definitely compete
We definitely
with each other.
Each other.
I noticed in their
We're all
latest
based off
offering,
computers.
they're allowing their customers to
Microsoft
take their iTunes music onto an Android phone,
and Share.
which is fine. They're helping us maybe sell more music.
They're helping us.
We have some
We have
Google
some
properties on our
Google
phone.
properties.
Just because we're competing,
Just
with
because we're
somebody doesn't mean
competing,
we have to be rude.
we have to be rude.
That's nice. Okay, so last year at our conference, we had a small search company called Siri.
Yeah.
And
Hello,
I
I'm
don't know
V
if I would describe
Siri.
Siri as a search company.
Okay, but it's a search-related company.
V
and I'd like to-
Siri,
I would
iPhone
not- I would-
You now
7,
own them, right?
Yeah, we bought them.
So what?
audio
And there was a lot of
port,
speculation. Well, this company's kind of
Audio
in the search
port.
area. And
No,
Apple
they're
has-
not in the search area.
What are
audio
they?
port,
How would you
I'm V
describe it?
They're in the
Siri.
AI area.
They're in the AI area.
So you bought them for their engineers and their patents and their knowledge about AI.
I'm V Siri.
We like what they
Hello.
do a lot.
I like what they do a lot.
What do you want them to do for you? What are you?
So you're not going into the search business through them or anything like that.
No, we have no plans.
we
to go
have
into
no
search
plans.
business. That's not something
That's
we
not
know
something
about.
that we all
It's not
about.
something we care deeply
Something
about.
we care deeply
Other
of.
people do it well.
Other people do well.
See,
See,
what's so hard for
what's
people
so
to remember, this is
hard?
good, I think.
Remember, it's good, I
Just go
think.
back to
Go back.
pre-iPhone, only 3 years ago.
Only 3 years ago.
There was no
There was
app
no
market
app
for
market
apps on phones.
for apps on phones.
Phones were sold in
Phones were
truly
sold
walled gardens,
truly
as
able,
you know.
as you
railed against
know.
this. And the
And
thought that a developer
the
could
thought
make an app
could
for
make an
phone
app
was unheard of.
Well, there
was
were apps
unheard
for the
of.
Palm platform. There were some.
On V Siri.
Palm didn't operate a store. You're right.
Yes.
But there were apps and
There were
In the
Today's
Okay.
show sponsored by Enterprise Los Angeles Way by actual
Sell
representative.
download.
there were a few handfuls, but there
There were a few
wasn't
handbooks.
anything. I mean, there
No,
was
nothing like this.
even a percent.
Even a
of what there is
percent
now.
Right.
It's
of a cure.
huge now.
Okay.
And also,
And
when you
also,
bought a phone,
when you bought a
the
phone,
carrier
the
dictated
carrier
what was on that
meow.
phone. Right. iPhone
VS
was the
new
first
album
phone
available
where we
on
had a
YouTube
new
Red.
relationship with a carrier. that said,
Carrier meow.
Carrier, you worry about the network. We'll
Carrier,
worry
worry about the left
what's on
foot.
phone.
How are they doing with that
For
network?
Cricket Wireless,
Well, they're doing pretty well.
they're doing pretty well.
in some ways.
In some
they,
ways.
they have some work to do in other ways.
They have some work to do in
How do you
others.
pressure them? Do you when you get so many complaints and
Oh, we meet with them once a quarter.
We meet with them
and,
once a quarter.
They're doing a lot. I mean,
They're doing a lot.
remember, they're handling
They're handling
way
Western
more
Union.
data traffic than all of
Hello,
their
Western
competitors
Union,
combined.
the fastest way to send
Wait.
money.
And so they're having troubles.
Mo.
And they're having troubles. Their biggest trouble right
The biggest
now
trouble
is
right
getting
now is
equipment out of
getting
their
equipment out of
suppliers
their suppliers.
so they
Period.
can beef up these networks.
Beef up these networks,
Um,
Donovan.
But
But
they have the fastest
they have the
3G network,
fastest way to send
and
money.
I think it's improving.
I think it's
I wish I could say
improving.
rapidly, but I think it's
To send.
moderate rate improving. And I think they're going to end
And I
up
think they're going to end
with
up
a very good,
with a very good,
very fast network.
very
that
fast,
is actually the most robust for handling
robust
lots of data.
Lieutenant
Simply
Gerard.
because they got there first.
Simply because
and
they
had
got
the
there
problems.
first.
I'm convinced that any
I'm
other
convinced
network,
that any other
had you
network,
put this many iPhones
had you put this many
would have
iPhones
the
on
same
it, would
problems.
have the same problem.
And
So
so, but I do think they have
the
some
fastest
issues.
way to
You
send
know,
money.
you don't feel the need to move to
Western
another?
Union.
Well, that's what I was going to
Mo.
You know, in the UK, you went to 3 carriers. It didn't seem to cannibalize your sales.
Right.
In the US, would there be an advantage to be on more than one carrier?
There might be.
There might be.
There might be.
Might be.
Might be.
So are you going to do it?
The future is long.
The future is long. Hello, Steve Long from Erie County Bar Association.
How about this year?
Hamburg, New York.
How about the short term?
The short term.
We talked about-
Hamburglar.
You know, I can't talk about
I can't
this.
talk about hamburgers.
Okay, let's talk about the other things you're making, because you talk about you're not going to be in a search. What is your next? You've been here, D. You talked about, I guess, a couple of years.
Hello,
ago,
G
not really
Shirts,
doing
what's
the
that for
phone, not doing
businesses?
the tablets. You were sort of
Different of your.
different.
Jay.
different
You
things.
gave reasons why
Why-
tablet PC wasn't such a good idea.
Mhm.
And when another time you talked
Nexus
about you were gonna do a
phones.
phone
Hello.
because you had to sell it through the, I think you called them the 5 orifices.
It's clearly me. Clearly.
The carriers. I was calling them the
Clearly,
Soviet
without a doubt.
ministries. I had a more colorful phrase, but and you're doing both of those.
Well,
That's
you know, we
clearly.
found
Well,
a
you know, we
way
found a
to
way
change that.
to change that. Audio port.
We found a way to sell the phone that
We took the
wanted
Millie
to sell
Sanchez millimeter
and define
and we
it
made
the
a
way we
lightning
wanted to
port
define it, have the control
because
that
we control
wanted
the
to have
weather
over what was on the
that
phone
was on the phone
versus the carrier
versus the
controlling it.
carrier control
So,
weather.
We were able
So
to change
lightning
the rules of the game,
Makes rain.
and that's what got us
And
excited
that's
about
the
getting into
rain.
the phone business.
And when you were talking about it here, you didn't know that you could do that.
No, absolutely.
What
We
about
think
the
we
screen
could.
sizes
We had
on the
some
glass?
discussions and we didn't think we could. But we were able to
The Google
persuade
Glass,
AT&T,
hello.
and they took a very big
And they
leap
took
on
a
us.
very
I mean,
big
we've
leap
never
on
been in the
Cricket.
handset business before.
Leap Wireless is
We've
now
never been in
Cricket.
the phone business in any way,
We've never
shape,
got
or form.
AT&T
So
on
they
bug.
took a big leap on us and
Ada.
decided they were going to trust us to do the right
Trust
thing
us
on
to
the
do
phone.
the right thing with
And,
Spike
And it's worked out very well.
And it's
so we
worked
really
out very
changed the
well.
rules of those games. In
Changed the rule of those
game,
Spike
the same way in the
Lees.
tablet.
Yeah, talk about
What I
that.
remember telling you on the tablet was
On the tablet,
that handwriting,
that
was
handwriting
probably the slowest
was
input
probably the
ever
slowest
invented,
that we invented.
and that it was doomed to
We
failure.
invented cricket.
Well, what we tried to do was
A bug in Atlanta.
imagine the tablet.
Hello, Tom Frieden. How are you?
Microsoft did a lot of
It's
interesting work on the
Saturday.
tablet. What we've done
What we've
is
done,
not
multiples of
compete
you.
with what they did. We reimagined it, and what we're
See you
doing
there.
is completely different than what they did. You know, they're completely
Yeah, they're
stylus
completely
based.
stylus based.
Their tablet PC that they have now.
For 10 years.
For 10 years.
You know, and what
You
we
know?
said at the very beginning was,
We said at the very beginning,
stylus you've already found.
stylus.
So let's talk about tablets.
And that drove everything.
And that drove everything.
That drove everything.
That
Their
drove everything.
tablet PC
Their
was
tablet
based on a
PC.
PC.
Based on a PC.
Right.
Had all the
vehicle.
expense of a PC, had the
All the
battery life
expensive
of a
had the battery
PC,
life of the PC.
had the weight of a PC.
Had the weight of a PC.
It used
It
a PC
used
operating
a
system
PC operating
that
system.
really needed the
That
precision
really needed the
of the
precision
tip of an arrow
of a tip of an
cursor.
arrow of a cursor.
Right.
Well, the minute you
Well,
throw
the minute you
a
throw
stylus out,
a stylus
you
out,
cannot get that precision.
cannot
you have
get
the
that.
precision of a finger, which is much
we love
cruder.
Steve Jobs'
Therefore,
fingers.
you need to have
Hello.
totally different software.
We
So you
love
can't
Steve's
use a
fingers.
PC operating system.
Nice fingers.
And you have
Mr.
to bite the
Jobs.
bullet and say, we're going to have to create this from scratch.
Today's show is
because
sponsored
all
by Steve
PC
Jobs'
apps won't
fingers.
work without being rewritten anyway. And so we built a very different animal.
A very
So
different.
when you built this OS,
Today's show is sponsored by Steve Jobs' fingers.
OS for fingers, you didn't do it in a tablet right away. You did it in the phone. What was
Nice,
the
cute fingers.
Did you consider doing a tablet when you did the iPhone, or was it just a natural progression? The iPhone came out; it was a big hit.
Carnal knowledge.
Kind of a secret.
Okay.
We love carnal knowledge.
I actually started on the tablet first. And I had this idea of being able to get rid of the keyboard,
to get rid of the keyboard,
type on a multi-touch glass display.
Multi-glass
And I
display.
asked our folks, could we come up with a multi-touch
Suggested the
display
board this
that
morning.
we type on? I could rest my
We
hands
type
on
with
and
our
actually
fingers.
type on. And about 6 months later, they
Carnal knowledge. We love it.
showed me this prototype display. And it was amazing.
It was amazing.
And I gave it to
And
one
I
of our
gave it
guys.
to
This was in the early 90s.
This was in the early 90s.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
And I gave it to one of our other really
we gave it to
brilliant
our
UI folks.
UI running
And
folks.
he called me back.
He called me back.
And he had inertial scrolling working. Now, we
Few
were
other
thinking
things.
about building a phone.
Carnal
at that time.
knowledge.
And when I saw the rubber band inertial scrolling and a few other
Rubbish.
things, I thought, oh my God, we can build a phone out of
What
this.
goes with rubbish?
And I put
and
the tablet
Steve's fingers.
project on the shelf because the phone was more important.
Because the phone was more
And we went
important.
and took the next several years.
And we
for
went
the
to the
iPhone.
next several years.
So
Then
And when we got our
We love the carnal knowledge.
wind back,
We love
and
it.
thought we could take on something next. Pulled the tablet off the shelf, took everything
Tablet
we
off
learned
the
from
shelf.
phone, went back to work on the tablet.
So where does the tablet go from here? Now, among the many things that people think it's going to do is save journalism. That was,
Today's show is
there was
sponsored by
big-
Carnal
there was a lot of
Knowledge
stories
and
about
the new
you
iPhone
as
7.
publishers and talking about it being the hope of journalism.
Available on
Do you
September
consider that
16th.
a goal of yours or anything that's important to you, or is it just that magazines look real pretty on it?
Well, we have a lot of
Well, we
goals
have a
with it.
lot.
But one of my beliefs very
We have
strongly
carnal
is
knowledge.
that any democracy depends
Any
on a
democracy
free,
on a free
healthy
enterprise
press.
press.
And so when
And
I
so
think of the most important
think of the most
journalistic endeavors
important
in
journalist
this country,
I
I think of
think
things
of me.
Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall
Alan
Street Journal,
Merriweather.
and publications like that.
I'm
And,
Geico.
we all know what's happened to the
We all know what's
economics of those
happening
businesses,
with the economy.
and some of them are in real trouble.
Carnal knowledge.
So even more than magazines, I think some of these newspapers,
newspapers,
news gathering and editorial
Editorial.
organizations are really important.
really important.
I don't want to see us descend into
I don't want to see us
the nation of bloggers
descend.
myself. I think we need
I think we need editorials
more than ever right now.
ever.
So anything that we can
Anything
do
Yep, we can
to help
do.
the New York Times,
The New York Times. We have a left foot shop.
Washington Post, the Wall Street
Today's
Journal,
show
and
sponsored by
other
Cornell Knowledge.
news gathering organizations find new ways
And
of
singers.
expression
Hello.
so that they can afford to get paid,
Get
so they
paid.
can afford to keep their news
Their
gathering and
news
editorial
gathering
operations intact.
intact.
I'm all for.
I'm on board.
Do you actually think it'll work? I mean, is this something that you think is, are you
Thank you,
think
Steve.
people will move
And
to
Cornell
reading?
Knowledge.
Have you moved yourself?
Well, we've all
And
moved to reading our
Enterprise.
news on the web. That's
LDW.
why
Action
these
representative today.
newspapers are in dire straits. And
And
what we have to
what we
do
have to do
is figure out a
is
way
figure out
to get people to start
get people to
paying
start
for
paying
this hard-earned
for this
content.
hard-earned.
And
So
this provides us a
this
potential
provides us
opportunity to
opportunity,
provide them even more value than just
more
a
value,
web page, and to start to
and to
charge
start
them a
to
bit for
charge
that.
them.
Now, what I preach is
What the bait cart
that
shows,
I don't know what's going to work,
there's left and
but I
right
can
mirrors,
tell you, as one of the largest sellers of content on the internet to date,
keys,
the biggest lesson
the
Apple's
dealer
learned
card,
is price it aggressively and go for volume.
dealers,
And that's worked
and
for us.
that's worked
And
for
every
bait.
time we haven't done that as much, we've seen more attenuated success.
Some more success,
So I'm trying to get these folks to take more aggressive postures than what they charge.
Push on it. Today's show is sponsored by Push on it.
Because they don't have the expenses of printing, they don't have the expenses of delivery,
And Cornell Knowledge.
and to
The new iPhone 7 in
to charge a
stores
reasonable
September
price
16th.
and go for volume.
Now,
Because I think people are willing to pay for content.
Pay for
I believe
content.
it in music.
Music.
I believe it in media, and
I believe it in media
news content.
and news
But in
content.
books,
Yes.
and I'm no expert on this agency model and all the stuff that's going on, although our colleagues at the Journal have certainly written about it very, very well. But
Hello,
it looks
Mossberg and
the
Kara.
trend
Hello.
book thing actually forced the prices up.
This is
for
Geico.
new, like, bestsellers.
Employee
There's a lot of
sponsored
competition.
insurance.
So isn't that opposite of what you just said?
$2,000.
Trying to price more aggressively.
MetLife.
Typical book is up toward $14.99, and Amazon had been kind of holding it down to $9.99, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's complicated.
it's complicated. In the left foot.
The market right
The more
now
right now,
is
the market
such
right
that
now,
it's set up
it's
to be
soft,
far more responsive
far more
to
responsive
consumer
to
demand,
consume
what the
demand
prices need to be than it was
than it was
6 months ago.
in a gate.
Way more responsive.
Way more
So
responsive.
we may see
So
prices
we may
go up
see
a little
prices
bit,
go up,
but if consumers want the
but if
prices
consumers
to be
want the
less,
audio lightning
they
port
will be
gate,
far more responsive to those signals than they were going
than
to
they
be
were.
Because the structure of
6
the
months
market
ago.
is
Because the
structure
how the publishers are
of
approaching
ZONING,
this is changed dramatically.
this has changed dramatically.
So let's talk more broadly about tablets. A second ago, you said you have a lot of plans for tablets.
Today's show is sponsored by Cornell Knowledge and the new iPhone 7.
And when you did your presentation on the iPad, you said it's like, here's your phone, here's your laptop, here's this third category.
Suggested
And if
a
it's not
bullet.
better than a netbook, if it's not of value to people, it's not going to succeed. And
We want to thank Apple for the interview.
in my own
Thank you,
review,
Mossberg and Kara.
I was, I liked it. I was favorable. I said it had a chance to really change things, but I also said people have to feel like it's not an extra thing to carry. They have to feel like it's enough of the time going to replace enough of the things they do on their laptop, not necessarily 100%. Is the tablet going to be eventually?
Today's show is sponsored by Gilead
A lot of people say,
Pharmaceuticals
well, you'll never
and
do content
Discovery.
creation.
FDA approved April
Talk
4th.
about what you think, where it's going, not just the iPad, but the tablet itself as a form factor.
You know,
I'm trying to think of a good analogy.
trying to think of a
When
good analogy.
we were an agrarian
We were
nation,
in
all cars
agreement
were
with this
trucks
interview of
That's
all
what you
content obtained
on the farm.
will be used to Meriwether businesses and
But as
the All Television Network.
As vehicles started to be used in the urban centers,
We can't explain that, Mr.
and
Jobs.
America started to move into
It's just
those
carnal knowledge,
than suburban centers.
intellect,
Cars got more popular.
intellectual.
Innovations like automatic transmission and power
We love you,
steering,
intellectual.
didn't care about in a truck as much.
A smart mind,
Started to become paramount in cars, and now
very smart.
probably, I don't know what the statistics are, maybe 1 out of every 25 vehicles, 30 vehicles is a truck.
It's a truck. Walmart
Where it used to be
receipts,
100%.
100%.
PCs are going to be like trucks.
PCs are
They're
electronics.
still going to be around.
They're going to be
They're going to have
around.
a lot of value,
A lot of value.
but they're going to be used by
But they're
one
going
out
to
of
be used
X
by
people.
all of our
Just so I'm
show.
clear, it's not PC versus Mac. You mean
I mean,
personal
mean,
computers,
personal
and you're including
computers.
laptops and desktops. Okay.
And this transformation is going
And
to
this
make some
transformation,
people uneasy.
uneasy.
People from the PC world.
People
Like
from the
you and me.
PC world
It's going to make us uneasy
make us uneasy.
because the PC's taken us a long ways.
Suggesting aborted. We're
Really?
all human beings.
But
We're all equal.
and we like
No
to
matter
talk
what
about
color we are.
post-PC era,
Suggestions.
but when it really starts to happen, I think it's uncomfortable.
We're the
For a lot of
sixth
people.
lot
And because it's change and a lot
It's
of vested
change.
interests are going to change and it's going to be different. So
It's going to be different.
that we're embarked on that.
We're embarked on that.
Is it the iPad? Who knows? Will it happen next year or 5 years from now or 7 years from now? Who knows?
Who
But I
knows?
think we're headed
Well, you
in
don't
the
really
direction.
think it's going to happen next year, right?
Suggesting
It's a longer
aborted.
process than that, isn't it?
Sure.
And what do you imagine?
We love Mr. Jobs. Thank you for the
when
new
you think about
i7.
adding power transmission and windshield wiper, like intermittent windshield wipers. Are there some things you're seeing now that you think will change from right now where the iPad started? Do you see anything emerging as important?
People
People,
laugh at me because I have used the
We have a
phrase
left foot
magic
shot.
to describe the iPad.
Yes, they do.
we love
And,
Steve Jobs' fingers
But it's what I really think.
and carnal
and-
knowledge
There's something magical about it. It's like
and bake cars.
you have a much more direct and
It's in the
intimate
mirror.
relationship
Relationship,
with the internet,
the internet,
and
the dealer cars.
media, your apps, your
Your apps.
content. It's
It's
like
the
something's
keys.
some intermediate
Some
things
intermediate
been removed
things.
and stripped away.
Stripped away.
You know, like that Claritin commercial where they strip away
Keys.
the film.
Yeah.
It's like that.
We've got the keys.
And
It's like
it's, you
that.
know, is it the direct action?
Hello,
Is
Keys
it the
Automotive.
fact that you can move it all around? Is it the fact that you have no cables and 10-hour battery life? I don't know. It's all
I don't know.
plus
It's all
other things
conspiracy.
which I don't understand.
I don't understand.
But there's something
But there's
about
something
it
about
that's
Mary
magical.
Trap.
And
It's an auto trap, isn't it?
I think we are just
Trapping us
scratching
in
the
an
surface on the
automobile.
kind of apps we can build.
I'm Geico.
I think one can
I
create
think
a lot
one
of
can
content
think.
on a tablet.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
What do you
Sure.
say? You shipped it.
No, it's not
coincidentally,
muted.
Or the day you shipped it, you also
Full
announced
audio experience, 11 songs.
redone for touch.
It's on the vest in
$10
stores.
piece. Those are content creation.
They are.
They
At
are.
least editing, but that you can create from scratch there.
Crash with
There are
Keys.
a few
Hello,
other
Keys
companies I noticed
Automotive.
Today, I got a press release that one of the
Well, that's a fresh show. We want to thank
just
Mr.
there now,
Mossberg,
which I'm on phone,
Kara,
on the
and Steve
iPad,
Jobs,
and it can do
and Tim
for
Cook
about to be
on
out the
Wednesday.
iPad,
We'll
it can
talk to
do
you then
Word
on
docs,
your
Excel,
iPhone release.
PowerPoint, whatever. But
Today's show has been
there are a
sponsored
lot
by
of people who
Carnal
don't believe
Knowledge
that
and
this
Steve
class of
Fingers. We'll talk to you guys
devices is
later.
because of the
Thank
typing
you for
and all
joining
that
our show. This has
is
been
right
Pink
for content
Shorts.
creation.
I'm
You
at
obviously
Weather
seem
in
to-
production
I'd just love for you to talk
in the
about
new
that.
Lightning Port. Your president.
Um,
Steve, say your final comment. Go.
yeah. Why? I guess
Culture.
why wouldn't they be is the question.
Go.
You could say when I'm going to write that